Okay, we're about to start class B, which is a basic class, or for people who want to get back into practice after a long lapse. So welcome back. Class is mainly forward bending. Let's take a comfortable seat. Actually, I should say, just because this class is about forward bending and sitting is a forward bend, it's always ideal if you have your hips higher than your knees. If your knees can be lower than your hips, then you're kind of draining energy, tension out. If you see that the knees are a little higher than the hips, so good, Molly. Yeah, take a seat. Good, bro. So yeah, to begin with, anytime you're sitting in this kind of position, if you can get the knees lower than the hips, much better for the hips. Nice, you guys. Looks good. Let's take a deep inhale. Oh. All right, come on back to a down dog anytime you'd like to. It'll be our first forward bend. Feel free to move your body any way that you'd like to move your body once you get there. No rush on this, no rush on anything. You can pedal out the feet if you want to. You can bend the knees, go through any motions that you'd like. And ideally, let's begin deep ujjayi breath, which would mean stabilizing the belly, drawing the navel up and in, and thereby moving the rib cage more thoroughly bit by bit from the inside out. Good, you guys. Okay, let's walk the feet forward. So we'll step out to the front of your mat. Bring the feet hip width apart. So you want to see parallel leg bones from top to bottom. Spread your toes out nice and wide. Come to a forward bend. This is to mitigate. We're going to do type A sun salutes in a minute or two. They can be a little rough on the hamstrings first thing if you're not warmed up. So good idea to get the hamstrings warmed up a little bit. Start to engage the quadriceps. Yeah, feel free to move any way you want to, you guys. Take any variation that you'd like to. It's funny, you're 3,000 miles apart and you have the exact same variation. It's cool. Like that. I just put my cat in there. Put my cat in that crook that you're creating. Use my cat as a sandbag. Rock the cradle. Okay, let's come rolling up to stand. Bring the feet together. Or not. This is a type A sun salute. Traditionally, they were started with the balls of feet together, but you could have the leg bones parallel. Depends whether you're stepping or jumping too. Inhale to swing the arms up into the air. Fly them up sideways. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Lead with the heart. Knees can bend if they need to. Good, you guys. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. Stepping back is fine. Jumping is fine too. Inhale to an upward dog. Good, you guys. Exhale back to a downward facing dog. Beautiful. And hold and breathe. See if you can pick your pinky toes up. Spread them out maybe a little wider. And maybe all your toes. Good, you guys. Reach back through the heels. Supercharge the quadriceps. Take the sit bones way high up and back. And okay, at the bottom of an exhalation, hop your feet forward or step. Good. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward bending, straight legs or not. Inhale, reach up, and knees can bend on the way up if you need to. And we'll come back to standing. I think both of you have been sitting in chairs for most of the day. And then it could be a bit of a shock for your body to be moving up and down in type A. So if you bend your knees, that would mitigate negative effects on the lower back. So feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to. Take pressure off the lower back if you're feeling it there. Okay. Inhale, fly the arms up. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Beautiful. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhaling to an upward dog. Very nice. Exhale back to a downward facing dog. Hold. And breathe very, very deeply here. Same thing with the legs. Release the back of the neck as much as you'd like. Press down firmly to the root knuckle of your index finger. Good, Molly. And the root knuckle of your thumb. So you really plaster down there through the inner palm. Keep the sit bones lifting up and back, and the heels reaching down and back. Then draw the rib cage back about as far as it will go. Okay, at the bottom of an exhalation, hop your feet forward or step. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, forward bending. Inhale, reach all the way up for the ceiling. Good. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhaling to an upward dog. Beautiful. Exhale back to a down dog and hold. And breathe even more deeply. You can even attempt to draw the gaze inward towards the navel as the navel lifts upward and inward towards the spine, out of sight. Back of the neck releasing that way. That can increase Jalandhara Bandha. That happens in the throat. Little constriction in the throat. Slows down the breath and makes the breath audible. Really, ideally, we sound like Darth Vader. Try to get a smooth flow of breath in and out. No tapering, no surging. Steady breath in, steady breath back out again. At the bottom of any exhalation, hop your feet forward or step. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, forward bending. Inhale, reach all the way up. And let's come to standing. Good. I like that your feet are hip width apart. They already are. That's good. Stay like that. Get the feet parallel to each other. Let's say get the center lines of your feet parallel to each other. Go to a forward bend again. This time feel free to hold on to your big toes if you'd like to. See if you feel a little more warmed up for a forward bend. Yeah, you are. Good. Or change that grip if you'd like to. You can take any other variation on a standing forward bend. Good, Bev. Anything that works. Sit bones keep lifting. Quadriceps keeps lifting. Navel keeps lifting, up and in. You can lift your shoulder blades up and away from the ears. You can even lift the elbows as they bend if you want to. At the same time, then, let the crown of your head plummet straight down. The rib cage drop. Keep on breathing it deeply and slowly. Good, okay, release the grip on the toes. Inhale, look out to a flat back. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga. Inhaling to an upward dog. Exhaling back to a downward facing dog. Okay, let's bring the right knee forward for a pigeon posture. And then place the right foot carefully. It's going to be a forward bending pigeon. This whole class is going to be forward bending until we get to the end. We'll get a little relief at that point. So go forward when you're ready, drop into it. See what this does for that right piriformis, right sit bone area, wherever you're feeling it. Good, you guys. You both look really ragdolly already, and you want to be a ragdoll in this position. Completely soften the hands, soften the arms. You can draw the shoulder blades back away from the ears, but then soften the shoulders too. Let them drop. So the paradigm for the posture would be a puddle. It's flattening, deepening, lowering bit by bit, especially by deepening the breath. If you're finding anything that feels a little stuck in that right sit bone area, right piriformis, good. Good to find. It's blockage, basically. We all have blockage. We need it. We need something to work with. And it's strength, too. Dissolve what you can. So we're going to do two pigeons today. We're going to do another forward bending pigeon in a few minutes. So stay here if you'd like to, or bring the left knee right in behind the right knee. I'd say put the right knee right on center for Gomukhasana, cow face. That's it, Bev. And sit down between the heels. Good, Molly. Yeah, sit up. Sit on whatever you'd like to. Put a block under your sit bones if you wish. Anything at all. Sit tall. And then drop again into another ragdoll, coming forward when you're ready to. And again, make a practice of softening the shoulders. Good, Bev. I like the palms up like that. If you want to do it that way, that might be more relaxing for you. Good. Make the breath deeper than the posture. Draw the navel way up and in. Keep the navel moving itself forward. Uddiyana Bandha. So your navel actually becomes kind of a four-dimensional object here. Not really kind of. It actually is. I mean, it's moving forward, upward, and downward all at the same time. So it doesn't have much of a fixed location. That's very nice. You look very relaxed there. Keep on deepening it, softening it, letting it drop. So, okay, you can stay like this if you'd like to. Or you can go forward onto the knees and take a kneeling Garudasana, which would not be restorative. It'd be a little more active. That's it, Bev. Stand up, get up tall, bring the hands on the hips. Molly, you can stay in Gomukhasana, or you can do what Bev is doing if you want to. We can see her pretty well. It's a nice rendition, Bev. Take the right elbow under the left. Is that a rendition or is that a rendering? Now take the right elbow in front, under the left elbow. Oh. Right under the left. There you go. And then lift the elbows up. Good, Molly. Try to create Tadasana through the torso. That would be a straight up and down line. Very hard to do. So we're going to press the pelvis forward, draw the navel in, lift the kidneys, lift the elbows, keep the pelvis pressing forward. Good, Bev. You're going to start to feel this in the right IT band. I like that one of you is facing me and one of you is sideways. So when I say good, Bev, I can't see whether your pelvis is moving that way, Molly. I'm sure it probably is. But over the course of the class, it's going to actually be really nice to have these two views. So I didn't ask you to do it, but I couldn't have arranged it better. Thank you. Looks very good. Okay, come to sit, right foot outside left knee. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Seated twist. We'll get a little deeper into that right IT band if you'd like to. Good, Bev. You can straighten your left leg like Bev is doing. Put your foot up now, Bev. Put your foot outside your left knee. So your right knee is up. That's it, Molly. Thank you. Sit really tall. Nope. Bev, you got to stop thinking now. You're done working. Okay, take a big twist to the right when you're ready. With each inhale, get taller. On the exhale, you can twist more deeply to the right. On the other hand, we got her knocking off work at 3:30 in the afternoon. That's pretty good. Yeah, Molly, good toes. Spread them out. Those left toes. Yeah, the left leg could be active. Bit by bit, that right knee could move towards center. You can hug it in with your left arm even. Each inhale, practice getting a little taller, putting space between the vertebrae. This is really the basic thing about twisting, is you want to put space between the bones before you twist. No grinding, no gnashing. Beautiful, you guys. Counter twist to your left anytime at all, for any duration. Give a good counter twist when you're ready for it. And then go back to a down dog, either directly to it or through a vinyasa if you wish. Whatever works for you. think Molly's going to do a little vinyasa. She likes doing them. They're cool. It's like one little push-up. You're very strong that way, Molly. I bet you can do a bunch of push-ups. I'm practicing those too. I bet you could. You could. Okay, when you're ready, bring the left knee forward. So we're setting up for a left-legged pigeon. So give that left foot any placement that it needs. Good, Molly. Place it carefully. Feel free to rearrange it as you move through the posture. So the placement of that left foot is very important. Mm-hmm. And come lower down, lengthen down, flatten down, soften down. So the breath ideally now, again, is getting deeper, slower, and smoother. Soften the arms and the hands completely. Soften the jaw. Soften the eyes. Soften the palate. You can soften the teeth and gums. Soften the inner ears. Once you're doing that, you can start to really just let the brain drop right into your forehead. It's a good heavy weight. It can be useful. Let it go. But do keep breathing very deeply and slowly. Good. You guys stay with this for as long as you like, or get up to a tall spine, bring the right knee right in behind the left knee for Gomukhasana. Anytime you're ready to move on. We'll come back to pigeon. I can see that was a good posture for each of you. Yeah, it really starts to unpack those sit bone areas that get. Sorry, Bev. Sit down, Bev. You're in the third area. Yep, that's okay. You're in the third posture. Nice, Molly. Drop into it when you're ready. Gomukhasana, cow face. It's a matter of getting that left knee stacked on top of the right knee as carefully as you can. Ragdoll the shoulders, ragdoll the arms, soften the hands. Keep on breathing very deeply and very slowly here. And bit by bit, yeah, navel keeps on moving forward, out towards the knees. Shoulders and head keep dropping. This is especially nice for clearing out the SI joint. This gets the left side a little more strongly. It's a very powerful posture that way. Nice, you guys stay like this or go to a kneeling Garudasana. Standing up on the knees and attempting to find Tadasana through the torso. And that would be just a straight up and down line, which nobody does here, nobody. But you move that direction. Good, Bev. Yeah, left elbow goes under the right if you want to double wrap out in front. You could practice with your hands on the hips. That'd be fine. It's really a hip left IT band posture with that left knee out in front. Uh-huh. Good, Molly. Elbows flat, Molly. They could go as high as the chin even, or higher. Keep the pelvis pressing forward. Tailbone threading forward. Kidneys lifting up. Draw the navel way up and in. Good. Come sit. Ardha Matsyendrasana when you're ready. And be your left foot outside the right knee. So to be consistent, you could straighten that right leg forward if you want to. Get that leg, Molly. Good, Bev. Twist to your left when you're ready. Anytime, anybody. Good to get a good stable foundation here. So what Bev and Molly are doing, they're straightening that right leg, each of them. And that's getting the sit bones both plugged into the floor, which is exactly what you want to do. That gives you a level SI joint. Good foundation for a twist. With each inhale, Try to literally lift the base of your skull a little taller. On the exhale, you can twist a little more deeply to the left, with space accruing between the vertebrae. You can do that. Anybody can. The space might be 0.5 millimeter. That would be a lot over the length of your entire spine. Hi, Molly. Your toes are waving at me. Bev's hand, too. Yeah, well, we're friendly yogis here. Take your time with this twist, or counter twist to the right anytime that you'd like to. Come back out of it whenever you wish. No rush, though. You move whenever you'd like to, either straight to downward dog or through a little vinyasa like Molly does. Just a little extra strength training. One little push-up each time. Yeah. Good. Okay, bring the right knee forward for a pigeon posture. Place the right foot carefully. Come lie down, forward and out. Good, Bev. Bev is patting her back knee. Now from here, you can twist to your right if you want to by placing the left shoulder right about on center of the posture. That's it, Molly. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and then lift your head too. So it's a straight line from the left heel right after the crown. So this one's a little less restorative, a little more active. Beautiful twist. You can stay just like that, fingertips together, or you can fly the right arm up like Bev is doing. Back. Good. You can backhand that left arm into the floor. Get a backhanded action. You can go for the bind like Bev is doing. Whatever works for your body. It's an overhand grip on that toe, Bev. Switch it around a little bit. That's it. That makes it easier, right? I think. If it doesn't make it easier, don't do it that way. Yeah. Take any variation that you'd like to. Keep on breathing deeply. Careful with that front knee. You want to make sure you're not feeling anything, any stress on the right inner knee. Good, Molly. Or you can flatten it out. Staying flat with it. Or come back up when you're ready. We'll sit tall. Swing the left leg forward 180 degrees. So it goes straight out in front. Keep the right knee bending, just the way it is. So we're making a 4 out of our legs. Okay, twist to the right. Big twist. As we inhale, let's get taller. On the exhale, let's twist more deeply to the right. Good. Fly the right arm up, straight up into the air. Drop your left shoulder towards the inside of the left knee. You could press your right knee down with your left hand if you want to. That's one way of doing it. You could connect to the right hand to the outer edge of the left foot if you want to. That's just another variation, not anything you have to do. But breathe very deeply here so that you're literally breathing space to the right quadratus lumborum, right rib cage expanding. Roll the left side of your heart upward towards the ceiling. Keep on rolling the right shoulder right up over the left shoulder. It's beautiful, you guys. So ideally, you want to keep your right sit bone heavy. Keep the right knee heavy. It's dropping down and back. This would be a job for Charlie, Molly. Just put him right on that right thigh. He'd be a good yoga dog. You can make that left heel light if you want to. Could levitate, could float. It's good. Stay like this or go to a flattened out Janu Shasana. As Bev's doing, as Molly's doing. Good, you guys. Take a grip on that foot if you'd like to. Keep the right knee dropping down and back behind the torso. Keep the heart lifting forward. Good, Molly. Work into that left foot any way you'd like to. Through the toes. Through a levitation of the heel even. Whatever works for you. Keep on breathing it. So I think in the torso here, this would be kind of a combination of a ragdoll that we did earlier. You could be dropping, rounding. It's quite normal to do that. Or conversely, you could work a little more energetically through lifting the heart forward, clearing the shoulder blades back, and clarifying the spine that way. So I don't think one is necessarily better than the other, just different approaches to it. One is more yin, one is more yang. Okay, you got a choice. You can stay with us or you can go to a double pigeon. It's right leg on top of left leg. We're warmed up for it, but it's a tough little posture. Try to get the right ankle right on top of the left knee. Just as well as you can. Don't worry about how close. Get the shins so that they're really parallel to each other, really stacked, right on top of each other. Good, Molly. Let's take the right arm up into the air and then lean to your left. That's it, Bev. Yeah, left hand goes out left. Left elbow can go down even if you want. Keep the right knee heavy. So the design with this variation is that it becomes a decompression of that right hip. The right knee keeps on falling. The right hip stays heavy, right sit bone stays heavy. It can really decompress that right lumbar again too. So stay like this if you'd like to, or bring both hands out to the left towards 9 o'clock on the floor. Sorry if there are any young people. Young people don't know what 9 o'clock is on a clock face. They don't have them anymore. It's terrible. Show them a watch like this and they'd really freak out. Depth charts. Go right down. It's funny I'm mentioning depth charts. We're going to go into the abyss now. Go forward and drop into the posture. Double pigeon, which I've always thought of as kind of maybe a combination of spelunking and going down to the bottom of the ocean. That may be the deepest part. I guess that would be the Mariana Trench. So take your deepest breath down there with you. You want to start the breath even before you get into it. Deep, round, slow breathing. Hang in there, Molly. Relax those hands if you can. Breathe it really deeply, Molly. I can tell you're feeling a lot there. So you can back off if you need to. That's okay. It's been a while. This posture is, it kind of shows you energetically your shadow, the energetic shadow. And the ego fucking hates to see its shadow. It doesn't like it. And it says, no, it can't be. And this is kind of the fun part of having an ego and being able to work with it as a real person. This posture will make you real, whether you like it or not. It's a tough one. So you can back off by decreasing the geometry. You can make your geometry less precise if you need to. That's fine, Molly. Any cross-legged variation. Or bring your deepest breath into it and see what you can do with it. This is a basic class, so I'm not gonna teach Lotus right now. But you could transmogrify this into a half lotus or a lotus if you want to. Anybody. It's good preparation for lotus. Lotus is a posture that really needs preparation. Anybody out there in the world who wants to confer with me, I'd be happy to talk you through a lotus practice. Some point, any point you contact me. Good, Molly. Let it go. We're going to go to the left side of a pigeon. And again, you can do a little vinyasa if you want to. You can go through chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Good, Molly. You're halfway through that one now. It's cool. You'll feel much freer once we're done. It's going to be left knee forward anytime at all. Coming into a pigeon. Lying down, forward and out. Dropping into a ragdoll one more time. And then potentially, if you wish, twisting to your left. Being careful with that left knee, though. Good, Bev. So tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Good. Lengthen from your left heel. Oh, sorry, that's your right heel, Bev. My mistake. Lengthen from the right heel, right after the crown. You can fly that left arm up if you want to. You can use the right arm like a backhand action on the floor. Drop it back to a bind, anything at all, whatever works. While I'm breathing deeply and slowly. But do make sure you're not feeling even a slight bit of tweakiness in that left knee. You want to be careful there. And now this posture will come back. The more you do it, if you do it 3 times a week or so, it'll come back very quickly. No time at all. Good, Molly. You're being very consistent. Drop the shoulders a little more if you can. Let it all drop. Yep. Or anytime you'd like to, come sit up tall, and we'll swing the right leg forward. For a Janya Shashasana, which is essentially, they call this figure 4 in kindergarten. So you make a 4 out of your legs. Take a big twist to your left when you're ready. Now get up tall first, Molly. We're going to do the other one first. Yep, big tall. Spine, twist to your left. Draw that left knee as far back as you want to, towards the back of your mat if you wish. Good, you guys. Fly the left arm up anytime you're ready. Drop the right shoulder inside the right knee. Good, Molly. It was good how that right foot came vertical. I was just about to tell you to do that. I think psychic instruction works as well as verbal, just about as well as verbal, from what I see. So here, the left sit bone stays heavy. The left knee stays heavy. These are foundations. The right heel can fly. The right heel can levitate. Pull back on your toes. Pull back on the ball of your foot. Kind of like you're taking the foot off the gas. And you can reach through the heel that way. Or not. Left shoulder keeps on rolling right up over the right shoulder. And breathe very, very deeply. In these postures, you can really expand your left rib cage, which expands your capacity for breath. The intercostal muscles between the ribs, they can really move. That's beautiful. Stay like this for as long as you'd like. Or move into a flattened out Janya Shashasana right out over the right leg. That would be like steering your left kidney towards your right knee. Actually, it wouldn't be like it. It would be steering your left kidney towards your right knee. See, it'd be a terrible thing if I was saying like all the time and I didn't even know it. Do I do that, Bev? I hope not. That would be like really horrible. I'm kidding. It kind of makes me cringe a little when I hear people do it a lot. Okay, take your time here. Keep that left knee dropping down. Heart could be lifting, or you could just be dropping into it too. That's fine either way. Feel free to experiment. One pole or the other, active or passive. Okay. Molly, you have an option of staying there. Janya Shashasana. That's already working that left hip. Or go to left leg at ankle to knee with your left leg on top now. It's a tough posture to come back to. So we've had a lot of preparation for it. Yeah. Why come back to it? I'll tell you. This could lead to really neutralizing what is essentially your emotional body. Go into it when you're ready. Drop right in. I'm sorry, go sideways first. My mistake. Lean to your right. Take the right arm directly out sideways to the right on the floor. And then bring the left arm up and over. So this could become, quite literally, a decompression of the left hip. But let's make no mistake about this, and I'm not going to mince my words. We are diving into the emotional body. According to the roots of yoga, there are 5 bodies. They're like Chinese, no, they're like Russian dolls that nest. So the outermost body is the food body. There's the intellectual body, the body made out of ideas. This is kind of like an Italo Calvino book. There's the energy body, the pranamaya kosha. You're running into that right now. Then there's a body made out of feeling, the emotion body. And this is really the seat of it. Yeah, go forward whenever you'd like to. Now, nested at the center of all these 4 bodies, the last one that you reach as you move inward towards them is the body that's made out of bliss, the Anandamaya kosha. If you didn't know the bliss body, you would have killed yourself already. Life would be that unbearable without it. But it's there. You can access it by breathing more and more deeply and dropping whatever impediments you're feeling in the emotion body, in the energy body, in the food body, even in this idea body. Yeah, the shadows are actually very often coming out of the brain, of course. Once we see our shadows, then other people don't really bother us so much anymore. There's an interesting expression I ran into this year, which is you spot it, you got it. Which is basically, whatever bothers you and other people that you start pointing a finger at, that's probably your stuff. Very educational. Everybody's got it. Everybody. None of us is clear. If you were clear, you wouldn't be in this body anymore. All right, you can come out of this whenever you'd like to. You can go do a vinyasa if you wish, or not, or you can go straight to Baddha Konasana with your feet together. And then forward bending once again. In Baddha Konasana, you could ask for a really strict formality in the spine. We'll talk about it once we get to it. Let's see what Bev does here. Good, Bev. Bev, if you take your thumbs to the balls of your feet, you could open those feet up like you're opening a book. Okay, that protects the inner cartilage of the knee from tearing, the medial meniscus. Good, hinge from the hips. You could simply sit upright. You could sit back into a wall if you wanted to. That would be completely fine. Yeah, Molly, if your meniscus is any concern to you, I don't know if you have any tears there. Doesn't seem like you do. Good, but you could open the feet anyway, like so, like you're opening a book. That protects the knees in this position. I wish I had known this 30 years ago. Nobody told me this. So I try to warn everybody. Yeah, keep the knees dropping out and down. Bit by bit, move your navel out towards the heels. Okay, take your time with this. This is a Baddha Konasana, which is the heels about as close in as they'll come. It doesn't matter how close. It'll be different for everybody. Or you can extend your feet farther forward, still together, and make a baseball diamond out of your legs. This would be called a Tara asana. It turns into a star, a six-pointed star. Elbows will go out in front of the shins. So the elbows, the knees, the tailbone, and the crown of the head, and toes would create a six-pointed star. And this is a rounding of the spine. So you could drop your forehead right onto your feet if you wanted to. This would come. Not important. It's one of those mudras, a seal, touching your forehead to the soles of your feet, arches of your feet. It might just be comforting. This is a place of practice, this asana practice, where the results really don't matter as long as you're not harming yourself. And also where if you have an inner critic, you want to, have compassion for that inner critic and also get her to stop yakking so much. Because the opinion is not valid, really. There's absolutely nothing wrong with anybody's practice besides injury, self-injury. So I think where the American yogis really get it wrong is where they kind of present yoga to you as a self-improvement, where actually it's a self-acceptance. And if you want this small self, this body, to improve, then you got to accept it first. It's like any other relationship that you have. In fact, I would call this your primary relationship, the relationship that you have with your body. It's your first relationship. You're born into it. So make it a loving one. Make it an accepting one. Make it a kind one. And if you're kind to your body's very smart. Your body will cooperate with you. So much more. I honestly believe the body is much more intelligent than the mind. Okay, stay with this or go to Upavista, legs out wide and straight. You could sit into a wall for this if you're new to it. I'm talking to people in the future on tapes. You could sit into a wall and just sit upright. Or one more time, twist to the right. Sit up, Monty. Let's try twisting right first. One more time, take the right arm up, drop your left shoulder down. I think 3 is kind of the magic number for these things. Lengthen up that right quadratus lumborum. One more time. Nice, Bev. Keep your toes upright as possible. While breathing deeply and slowly. It's beautiful, you guys. Or sit tall whenever you'd like to and twist to your left. And we'll drop the right shoulder inside the left knee one more time. It could be left hand moving towards the outer edge of that right foot. Nice, you guys. Take your time with it. It's funny how sitting like this can be an antidote to sitting, especially in relation to your lower back. Yeah, go down the center anytime that you'd like to. You have the option of holding the big toes or the outer edges of the feet if you want to, or not. You have the option of putting a sandbag on your back, or a dog, or a cat. You have the option of, well, simply sitting upright. I had such a hard time with this posture when I was young. I ate lunch in this position every day for a year. Just sitting upright into a wall with my legs out wide. Just ate lunch like that, Bev. Yep. And at the end of the year, my God, this was such an easy posture. And it had been kind of my nemesis. And I was not aware of the fact that the body is such a small part of the practice. At that point, I thought, the body was everything. But what I'm saying is that through time and acclimation, anything becomes easy. This posture became one of my best friends, really. I loved it. I still do. Okay, so I'm going to leave it to you now. You can do anything else that you'd like to do for your body right now. Anything you feel like you need to do. You could forward bend with your feet together and legs straight. That's a Paschimottanasana. You could squat. You could twist. You can do anything you feel like you need to, or you can confer with me. I'd be happy to speak with you about it and try to prescribe a posture for you. Otherwise, you can consider going to a shoulder stand. Yeah, Bev, that's nice. Take your time with that twist. Molly, I'd be happy to talk to you if there's a spot you want to hit.
I'm okay, Peter. I'm just crunched up generally.
You seem like you're having a hard time today, and it's okay. We all have hard times.
Yeah, my hips are just so sore.
So
I mean, it's a good hard time. It's very helpful.
would you like to, you can do ninja death or a low lunge, and you can go the other way. Do a little backward bend for the hip. I might like that.
Oh, a low lunge would be nice.
Yeah, do that. Do right and
Okay.
left. Take your time with it. Yep. You don't have to mute.
Okay.
Unless there are people, screaming and yelling or something, or who knows,
No, everyone's downstairs.
gunshots, or, who knows what you're going to hear.
Tim is downstairs with the dogs.
Yeah. So really drop in there, Molly. Drop that right thigh way down. There you go. Way down into it. And that'll be like a nice vacation now for the hip. Well, it's kind of like smiling after frowning for a long time.
My hips could probably use that too.
These classes are a little tough when the subject matter is concentrated like this, but we are done forward bending. So again, I'll help you apply any antidote that you'd like. Bev, that's nice. Up dog is a good one. Or fish. You could do a fish posture for your upper spine before Shavasana. And Molly, I think what you're doing for the hips is actually an antidepressant. So like the good news is next week will be the third week is backward bending. We'll do a whole class of backward bending and it'll just be ludicrously happy. Forward bending, I have to tell you, forward bending brings you inward. It's kind of emblematic of Pratyahara. Pratyahara is let me get this right, it's the fifth limb of yoga. And Pratyahara is the withdrawal of the senses inward, bringing your attention inward. And I don't mean to get too heavy about it. It doesn't have to be horrible, but it can be deeper and dark. I think it's a good winter activity. Kind of matches the winter. Go for it, Bev. Do a split if you want. Anything at all. So yeah, next week is backward bending. Molly, you can do a shoulder stand if you want to, or you can go to a fish anytime at all.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Do you have blocks?
Or
cushions?
Yes, I do have a block upstairs. I'll go grab it.
Yeah, whatever would be useful for you for a fish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Really nice.
Looks like you're jumping over a tropical ocean, just like Hanuman.
Nice stretch on the hips. It's what I really need.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. It's essentially the antidote to what we've been doing. So
Charlie was here.
look at that.
Oh, no.
It's cork. It's just like a
Yeah,
cork block. He
I
chewed
can
it.
see that. It's like, wow, maybe he's Spanish.
It's like a perfect big stick for a dog.
If you want to do a supported fish, go for it. Deb's got her elephants under her heart. Ah, this is such a nice thing to do after a day of work. What are you doing right now? I mean, I did this for about 10 minutes, about a half an hour before I started teaching this class, just as an antidote to the weightlifting that I did earlier. And took a good long time with it. I do it off the edge of my bed. I really recommend that. You could do it off a couch if the arm of the couch is level. You could do it off any horizontal surface that has a drop, like a counter or a table or a bench. Or you could do it as you are with material on the floor. So good to experiment with. Especially if winter depresses you, and we really are right now. We're in the dead of winter. This is it. This is the coldest part. I mean, technically speaking, we're 3 days after the coldest day of the year, and it's getting warmer now. Statistically, January 21st would be statistically the coldest day of the year. So it's good to know it's getting warmer. But until it gets really warm, yeah, backward bend whenever you need to. Or anytime you're ready now, you can move into Shavasana. If you want to, Madi, make sure you're comfortable. Wear anything you need to be warm enough. We've got about 7 minutes left right now, 7.5. I would ask you to start relaxing your breath, just so you're not really making any effort at all. Shavasana is corpse posture. Corpses don't do much. Yeah, ultimate letting go. I guarantee we'll continue without this body and probably be very, very happy about it when the time comes. When the time comes. It's too early now. Drop in here. Soften down. Soften the shoulder blades down if you need to. Drop your tailbone down if you need to. Drop any effort. And bring your attention to something perceptual, something you perceive. Could be the refrigerator that's off in the background. That's a fine thing to meditate to. It could be your own breath. Anything you're feeling, anything you're hearing. Every time you notice the mind thinking, please notice that and steer your mind right back to where it was. And if anybody wants to talk about this, I'd be happy to confer with you in the future, anytime at all, about how to experiment with meditation. So, okay, I'll wake you up in 6 minutes. Have a good one. Thank you. It's okay if you're in a good place and you want to stay there. You can stay flat on your back. Keep on meditating, no problem. If you want to sit up, come sit up comfortably. Sitting cross-legged should be essentially effortless. So any amount of material under your sit bones, always good. Mm. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your practice.
Thanks, Peter. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Molly. Thanks, Bev. Anybody in the future who takes this class, feel free to contact me with any questions. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Have a good night. See you later.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.